So this is number 23 on topic 4. It's the applications of rational expressions. The question is, write an expression for the area of the rectangle. I want you to remember that area is equal to the length, and I'm going to put some space here, times the width, or you might call it the height. Base times height. There are lots of different ways to say it, but basically one side times another. If, and this is an if this was 10 and this was 5, you would multiply those. 5 times 10, and that would be the area. So really, structurally, this is exactly the same. It's just that the length, and it doesn't matter in a rectangle if you're going to call this the length or the width or the other way around, but the area is equal to, you have an expression for the length, and that expression is 2x squared minus 10x over x squared minus 9x plus 20. Okay, so the area is that times the width, which is going to be x squared minus 8x plus 16 over 4x squared. Okay, so essentially it's exactly the same type problem as the ones you've been working. Remember, with multiplication, you kind of just say, okay, it's everything on the top times everything on the bottom, and we're going to factor those to be able to simplify. So on the first one, 2x squared minus 10x. To factor that, notice that it's subtraction. You're looking for terms that you can factor out of both of those. And I believe if I took a 2 and an x out of there, I would end up with x minus 5. So now that is factored. Over, this is one of the x problems. In other words, you're asking yourself, what are the factors of 20 that will give me negative 9? So I'm trying to think of two numbers that multiply to give me a positive 20, but when I combine them, I get a negative 9, and I believe that would be negative 5 and negative 4, correct? And so the bottom part factors to x minus 5 times x minus 4. Okay, now then, times this x squared minus 8x, let me make that a little thicker, plus 16. You're asking yourself, what are the factors of 16 that when added will give me a negative 8? And hopefully you saw that it's negative 4 and negative 4. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that down here as x minus 4 times x minus 4. And lastly, 4x squared, remember that that's 4 times x times x. So everything is fully factored, and you kind of look at all of the top as one big numerator, all of the bottom as one big denominator, and you're looking to see where can I cancel. Anything that is the same can cancel, and so I'm going to look. I see that I have an x minus 5 there and there, so those cancel. Then I'm looking and I can see, I'm doing a different color, there's one x minus 4 here and an x minus 4 there, so those cancel. And switch colors. I've got an x there, which can cancel to an x there. Lastly, I've got a 2 and a 4. Remember that I'm going to rewrite this 4 because 4 is not prime. 4 is actually the same as 2 times 2. So if I rewrote 4 as 2 times 2, what you can see is that, let me get a different color, that one of those 2's would cancel with this 2 sitting out in front in the numerator. So now, looking at this, all of this stuff is gone. That thing's gone. All of that is gone. One of those 2's is gone, and that x is gone. The only thing you have left here is going to be x minus 4 over, you've got a 2 and an x, so 2x. And keep in mind that you can't cancel out of addition or subtraction, so don't be tempted to cancel a 2 out of that 4. That is simplified. You're done. And that's your answer, x minus 4 over 2x.